Deferred, elected to kick off. They want the ball to start the second half, and Sebastian Janikowski is ready to deliver it to Jeff Janis, who is standing back in the end zone. And the Packers, in what was a sloppy weather game, defeated the Cowboys last week, and as Ronde just mentioned, they ran the ball successfully in that victory. The Packers again waiting on the Giants score. They're down by 7. Washington is winning by 10. Those are both in the final minutes. That has something to do with the playoff picture for Green Bay. This one is happening with the Raiders and Packers. And in the end zone, Jeff Janis is coming out. And struggles to get past the 15-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, who went to Cal, is from Chico, California. Who had been benched at a weight issue, missed a curfew, is back as the starting running back, and you talked about a lack of chunk plays for this Packer offense.
But they were very effective running the football last week. Eddie Lacy, James Starks, I think we'll see a lot of the same as we saw last week. Remember last week started with 4 straight runs. See if that's the case today against these Raiders.
42 run plays called, the most this season last week by Mike McCarthy. And here comes another one where it'll bring up 3rd down. The Raider defense, Mario Edwards Jr., the rookie from Florida State, maybe the best 2 games of the season for him, coming in the last 2. And Khalil Mack came into the weekend leading the NFL in sacks with 14, had 5 in 25 minutes last week. And in the secondary, David Amerson, the best corner. Nate Allen remains out injured. Rodgers on 3rd and 5. It's complete, but nowhere to go. Of his hero, Brett Favre, the Packer great, and also grew up, of course, in California watching, as he says, Aaron Rodgers.
He's got a little bit of both of them. He's got the quick release of Aaron Rodgers, but he has that bullish mentality of Brett Favre. Fun young player to watch.
We're waiting. What's up?
Latavius Murray with a strong run up near the 35-yard line. Came in with nearly 880 yards rushing and an average just over 4 yards a carry. Amari Cooper held for the first time without a catch last week, but they won the game. The rookie has been outstanding, closing in on a 1,000-yard season. John Feliciano starts at guard. Jamarcus Webb moves over to tackle with Austin Howard on injured reserve, a knee this week. Murray splits out as a receiver now, top of your screen, on 2nd and 3. Carr's throw is on target, and there goes the Cooper catch. And you mentioned those corners that'll be busy for Green Bay. Mike Daniels up front, got a contract extension, battling a hamstring, but has been a top player for them on the defensive line. Clay Matthews inside, taking in the defensive signals. Quentin Rollins and Demarius Randall drafted first and second on the spot with Sam Shields out with a concussion.
Hey, four. No. Monday, down. We're waiting. What's that?
3rd and a yard. Murray gets the first down. Had to work hard before Jake Ryan brought him down at the 40.
Latavius Murray is, like all runners, good runners in the NFL, getting a big chunk of the running game in Oakland, and this is a great jump cut by the big young back. I'm telling you, without Jake Ryan there to get him on the ground, that was going to be a big gainer, but he picked up the first down anyways.
4-7. Hey, single it.
Crabtree split left. Murray runs to the 50 and into Packer territory with a first down.
You know, Green Bay won that game last week against Dallas, but they gave up a lot of big chunk runs against the Cowboys, and today you're going to see him come over here, find a little lane, and Latavius Murray, for a big guy, really is a smooth runner, and he gets to the second level of a defense. Watch out.
He's 6'3", 225 pounds, drafted in the 6th round in his 3rd season, and is the go-to back.
52, down. Wide 25. Wide 25.
After a 12-yard pickup. There he goes again. No running back in the league, not even Adrian Peterson, has carried more of the rushing load for their team than Latavius Murray has for Oakland.
I find it interesting that he's 6th in the league in rushing, but they're, as a team, they're ranked 28th. It's because he empty backfield and try to throw the football on the arm of Derek Carr.
Tywan Jones in at running back, splits as a receiver, wearing number 22. On 2nd and 8, Carr, and incomplete. Coverage was good over there. He was trying to get it to Michael Rivera. One other thing about Carr wearing that number 4, his coaching staff said, like Brett Favre, he's a little bit amped up, maybe too much to start a game, especially when he's playing at home with friends and family.
Yeah, I love how they described him to us. He wants to play the quarterback position like a linebacker, but you got to get off to a nice, smooth start at home, get the crowd into this football game.
On 3rd down and 8, an impressive start for the offense of Oakland.
Monday, down. We're waiting. What's up?
The whistle blew before the snap here. Flag down, and the Raiders.
False start on the Raiders here, going to make this a 3rd and long situation.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 10, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
The referee, Walt Anderson, he refereed Super Bowl 45. That was the one the Packers won against the Steelers. And now 3rd and 13. Chance for Green Bay's defense to dig in.
Well, Green Bay's defense loves these situations. Dom Capers, the defensive coordinator, will put a bunch of people at the line of scrimmage. You're not going to know who's going to get here on these blitzes. See what he dials up on his 3rd long.
Yeah.
Carr with time, incomplete. Pass intended for Clive Wolford, and it's 4th down. Well, they ran successfully with Murray. He had 4 carries for 24 yards and got him into Packer territory, but a penalty and a couple of missed fires, 1 out of 3 for Carr, and now Marquette King ready to punt it to Micah Hyde. He was a big factor in the win against Denver last week, averaging a net average of over 44 yards a kick and 5 inside the 20. He's going to try and do that here. A short kick. Missed it. And with his head down, headed over to the bench. That'll set up the Packers around their own 27-yard line. Green Bay in a scoreless game will get a second chance of the day on offense. Here in Oakland, Mike McCarthy, his 103 wins, tied John Madden for 38th on the all-time win list. Both did it in 10 years. That's among the 5 fastest in the league history. On first down, Rodgers to throw, and incomplete. Benson Mayoa had to check in on the defensive line for Mario Edwards. And let's check in with Jen Hale on that.
Chris, right now Mario Edwards is back in the locker room. He's being evaluated for a neck injury. He did walk in on his own power, but his return is questionable, Chris.
Thank you. Second down 10 from the Packer 27. Eddie Lacy as a receiver now. Empty backfield. Cobb can't get anywhere. Ben Heaney from his linebacker spot.
That was a great play by Ben Heaney here. And the Green Bay Packers, we know they run a whole bunch of different types of screens. But Ben Heaney chased Randall Cobb down there. That could have been a big play for Green Bay.
One of the things McCarthy said to us, he wants to get the ball in Cobb's hands any way he can. Now on 3rd and 8. Rodgers moving around in the pocket, and he goes down. It's Khalil Mack. His 15th sack of the season.
And I got to tell you what, this is a heck of an effort play by Khalil Mack. Goes to the ground here after the block by Balaga, but then makes a great effort play to get Aaron Rodgers on the ground for his first sack of the day. This kid is an exciting player. You're going to watch out for him the entire afternoon.
Gets it away somehow, and Ross is running sideways and goes down. All the way back at the 25. There is a flag down, but it's up at the 41-yard line.
During the return, holding number 75 receiving team, 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. It'll be first down Oakland. Timeout.
The call on Shelby Harris as Khalil Mack and the Raider defense force the Packers to punt. So the field position game, the Raiders backed up at their own 16 after excellent punt coverage work.
Down! Blue ID! What's up?
As Murray, and now the Giants have tied the undefeated Panthers. The Redskins already won. The reason I mention that, because if the Redskins or Giants had lost, then the Packers would earn a playoff spot. Of course, if they win, they're in. Mike McCarthy just focusing his team on this game. We'll get an update on that Carolina Giants game in just a bit. The Vikings won today at home against Chicago.
Ready? What's up?
And Murray will go nowhere. It'll bring up 3rd down. Let's check in with Mike Hill for a game break. Mike?
And Chris, here's how the Giants tied that game. 28 unanswered points in the second half. On 4th and 5, Eli to Odell Beckham Jr. for the touchdown right there. Tied at 35, but the Panthers are driving. 47 seconds left to go in this game.
Thanks, Mike. You know what? The NFC East has not been a great division, but it's a fight there with Washington and New York here down the stretch. You got to love this time of year, Chris, when the playoffs start to heat up. The races, fun end of this season.
Cam Newton with 5 touchdown passes in that game. 6 defensive backs here on 3rd and 9. Derek Carr. And intercepted. Micah Hyde with the pick. It's still going. All the way inside the 5 of Oakland.
Derek Carr was trying to fit this ball into his big tight end, Clive Wolford, and Micah Hyde is underneath this all the way. This is the matchup right here. Derek Carr doesn't think that they're in two-man, but he's got help over the top. Micah Hyde plays that perfectly, gets the catch, and then a great run back to get inside the 5-yard line.
And there is a flag down inside the 5. It was thrown after the interception and return.
Well, Derek Carr can't try to force that ball in there. I know it's third down. You're trying to make a play. Seemingly didn't recognize the coverage.
Ruling on the field is an interception. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. Green Bay, orchestrated celebration, which is not authorized by rule. It's a 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 10, Green Bay.
That's a group celebration.
I would say that's the definition of a group celebration.
That looks like one of those awkward cheerleader moves.
You know what? I don't think that was planned. That's illegal under the current structure.
17th takeaway for the Packers this year, and Carr suffering his 10th interception. And there's some steam coming out of that head right there, but it sets up the Packers even with the penalty at the 17-yard line.
Derek Carr has been really good at taking care of the football. You said it's only his 10th interception on the year. He's been spectacular in his second year, but that was a big mistake early in this football game.
Check 30.
John Kuhn, the lone back.
Check 30. Go.
Aaron Rodgers has time. And on the move, throws to the sideline, and that's good enough for the catch. That's the rookie from Wisconsin, Jared Abradis. Ty Montgomery remains, the rookie from Stanford, remains out injured with an ankle injury. To the line. Cobb in the backfield, and
This is the first charged timeout, Oakland.
the Raiders
30 seconds.
weren't quite sure about that alignment, and Jack Del Rio, the defensive-minded head coach in his first year here with the Raiders, wanted the timeout. Well, the early assessment, Carolina and the Giants, were getting word that is a final. The Panthers have won, so the Giants. And Carolina remains undefeated.
Cam Newton had a great game in that win for Carolina. But coming back to this game, these Green Bay Packers, you know they got a big game next week against Arizona. But for me, this is a big test. On the road, a place that they're unfamiliar with, against a team that's playing really well. See how they handle themselves now that they're in the playoffs. See if they can make this run.
Cobb remains in the backfield. On 2nd and 6, pass is caught. Devontae Adams with a first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Packers.
Now, Mike McCarthy did a lot of this last week. He had some packages just where Randall Cobb lined up at running back. Weren't always looking to get him the ball, just like it's really kind of a decoy there. Makes the Raiders have to adjust. Aaron Rodgers makes a quick pass for that first down.
Now a 4 wide receiver set with Kuhn, the fullback.
Lucy. 21. Go.
Rodgers. End zone high and incomplete. Coverage was good. Jeff Janis the target, but he had time. He doesn't have anywhere to go.
No pressure really by the Raiders defense, but what they did a good job there is keeping Aaron Rodgers in the pocket. If you play against these Packers, you know they like those second reaction plays, and it's all Aaron Rodgers out of the pocket buying time. But good coverage on the back end there.
Ken Norton Jr., first time he is calling defensive plays in the NFL this season. Longtime Seattle assistant, great player himself, but doing the job for Jack Del Rio. On the Raider defense, 2nd and goal. It's John Kuhn, and touchdown Packers. That's his 5th rush of the year and his 2nd touchdown.
Well, John Kuhn just gave T.J. Carey the business on this touchdown run. Just a quick little dive inside. It's going to be a one-on-one tackle right in the hole. And Big John Kuhn says, "You are not good enough to stop me." Tumbles in for the touchdown for the Packers. That's tough business. Small guy against a big fullback.
The more Kuhn is on the field, the more success Green Bay seems to have as Mason Crosby delivers the extra points. And the Packers, who are already in the postseason but have bigger plans in the NFC North, have a 7-0 lead. With Ronde Barber, Chris Myers, we welcome you back to Oakland as John Kuhn punches it in for the Packers, and Green Bay ready to kick off. Raiders have not had a kickoff return for a touchdown since 2011. It was Jacoby Ford the last time that happened. Taiwan Jones gets up the sideline with a strong return up near the 34-yard line. Better field position than the Raiders have had. It was the interception by Carr that set up Green Bay's touchdown. Derek Carr said as a rookie when he was 0-10, it was frustrating not being able to play a meaningful game late in the season. He has one here, has to overcome an early interception on 1st down from the 34. Passes intercepted. Demarius Randall with a pick 6 for the Pack.
Well, I think this is exactly how you do not want to start a football game if you're Derek Carr. This pass completely gets away from him. He's looking for Seth Roberts, and he overshoots him by about 5 yards over his head. And it hits Demarius Randall right in the chest. He's trying to get it right here, and this ball just sails on him. Unique route combination. He has the open receiver, and you don't get any easier interceptions than that. Demarius Randall getting the start today. Takes it back for the touchdown.
One of those rookie corners, 1st-round choice of the Pack from Arizona State. And the other rookie corner, a 2nd-rounder, forced into action today with the Sam Shields injury. And the Packers with a 14-0 advantage. Derek Carr doesn't want to look up at the scoreboard right now. It's apart because interceptions on consecutive Derek Carr passes. And for Randall, his 3rd interception of this season, his 1st career touchdown. And frustration early for the 2nd-year quarterback of Oakland. Crosby kicks off. Taiwan Jones watches it bounce at a touchback. Raider offense and Carr come out to the 20. The UFC starts the new year with a bang on FS1, welcoming the return of Michael McDonald. UFC 195 starts with the prelims on Saturday, January 2nd at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on FS1. Also streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Well, the Raiders trailed the Broncos at halftime last week and looked like they couldn't do anything offensively and somehow won the game. They're in a hole here. 14-0.
Derek Carr needs to stay patient at this point in this game. I know it's 14-0. He's probably feeling terrible about the way this game started. Stick to the task, see if they can get themselves back in this football game.
Carr under pressure and has to get rid of it out of bounds. Let's get a game break and check in with Mike Hill.
Hey guys, Giants scored 28 unanswered to tie the score at 35 against the Panthers, but Graham Gano from 43 yards out as time expires gives the Panthers the win. They are now 14-0, 38-35. Your final. Chris, Ronde, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Can the Panthers go undefeated in the regular season, Ronde? Yes or no?
I thought this would be the challenge against the New York Giants. They look to have a pretty easy road. I think Atlanta and Tampa Bay the last 2 weeks. It could be looking at a 16-0 Carolina Panthers at the end of the year.
Hey, there.
Carr, sideline throw. Almost a one-handed catch, but there is a flag. And here comes another one. Amari Cooper, the target. Working against Demarius Randall.
Definite pass interference here. Demarius Randall was beat handedly there by Amari Cooper.
Pass interference, number 23, defense. First down, spot of the foul.
You know, I wondered why Cooper was trying to catch this with one hand.
Well, look at Demarius Randall try to shoot his gun at Amari Cooper. He misses, opens up the gate, and then he's just a free runner here. And all he can do is try to reach in and stop that from being a huge gain by the Raiders, but instead gets the pass interference.
25-yard pass interference penalty up to the 45-yard line. Carr's coming out firing. Pass is caught. That's Crabtree who goes out of bounds. Here in Oakland, 2 interceptions by Derek Carr. Micah Hyde with 1, and then Kuhn scored. And then Demarius Randall ran it back for the touchdown.
This is the identity of this Raiders offense. They love to throw the football. Derek Carr has a lot of arm talent, but we saw early in this game 4 early rushes by Latavius Murray. He hasn't touched the ball in the running game since.
Carr still has it. In the pocket, open. He's got Amari Cooper. And it looks like Derek Carr has settled down from the adrenaline rush of the opening quarter.
Well, Jen Hale talked about the field conditions. Watch your corner at the top of the screen covering Amari Cooper. Top of this route, he's going to fall down. Turf's a little slick, and then watch Amari Cooper. He falls down. So we have to pay attention to the field conditions down here as the rain continues to develop over the course of the day.
It rained this morning, and more rain expected later in the afternoon. A gain of 26. Murray brought down in the backfield. Coming up from his safety spot, Morgan Burnett.
Really good play here by Morgan Burnett. Right here on the end of the line of scrimmage. Fighting off a block and just a shoestring tackle on Latavius Murray. You know, we talked to Clinton Dix yesterday, and he said Morgan Burnett is the leader in the secondary. Plays a lot in the box. You'll see him be very active in the run game today.
Loss of 3. Carr looks one way, throws the other way. Holmes gets out of bounds near the first down marker. You know, the Packers, Ronde, are a team, they blitz a lot. Only Arizona and the Jets blitz more. It seems like they haven't done a lot of that early.
They really haven't, and I think they're a situational blitz team, Chris. When they get certain situations, backed up situations, they know that they can pin their ears back. They got a 14-point lead here. I think he's being a little cautious and not trying to wrestle with his defense too much right now.
That gainer leaves him short. It's 3rd down and 2. Carr spreads the defense.
Dog!
And good enough for the first down. Carr keeps.
That was very Tom Brady-ish of Derek Carr there.
Well, his coach said he'd like him to use his legs a little bit more.
Well, you know, you spread out the entire defense. You make the Packers undress. You go to the line of scrimmage pretending like you're changing the call and takes the goose snap for the first down. Good play by the second-year quarterback.
The goose snap?
Yeah, goose. You goose the center. You know, give me the ball.
All right, it's good enough for a first down. The Christmas goose a little early. Packers trying to keep the Raiders from getting closer here in a 14-0 opening quarter. Carr backpedaling, end zone. There's a flag down, and ball is dropped by Seth Roberts.
Well, Seth Roberts has to come down with this football. He beats double coverage there. And Derek Carr does a good job buying time. Hits him right in the mitts. Should have been a touchdown.
And Roberts knows it.
Prior to the pass, holding number 33, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's That call on Micah Hyde. Remember, he had the first interception of this game.
You're going to see a bunch of bodies come in here, and I think that's Micah Hyde right there. He's just all the confusion. I mean, that was a very quick hold if it was a hold. And you see again at the end of this play, right in his hands. Got to catch the ball.
Ball spotted at the 7. Second defensive penalty in this drive against Green Bay.
We're waiting. What's up?
On 1st and goal. And Murray gets out of it. Can he turn the corner? He does a lot to get back near the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is a heck of a run by Latavius Murray. He makes Clay Matthews miss twice on this one play. Quick penetration, runs through that tackle. Clay Matthews gets up again, then gets stiff arm. It makes something positive out what easily could have been a negative loss for the Raiders.
Barnes reporting in as the lineman here. You see Murray somehow get out of that. Donald Penn, look where he is in a slot. Now they've sometimes used him down around the goal line, the lineman. Instead, it's Murray being brought down around the 5. It'll be 3rd and goal for the Raiders. Again, if you're just tuning in because of the Giant loss, the Packers are in the playoffs. Vikings won today at home against Chicago. Washington beat Buffalo. And the Raiders with the clock running down in the opening quarter. Looks like they're going to let it run out. At the end of 1, after a couple of interceptions, the Packers lead 14-0, but the Raiders are threatening. Start of the second quarter, Christmas week. Happy holidays from all of us here in Oakland. And Seth Roberts being checked moments ago by the medical staff over on the Raider bench. 3rd and goal from the Green Bay 5.
What's up?
Carr, quick pass, end zone, knocked away from Crabtree. That's Quentin Rollins with the defensive play.
Fantastic play by Quentin Rollins here. Got the matchup he wants out here. You know it's man-to-man against the guy leading your team in touchdown receptions. Look at the technique. Turns around, finds the football, and then tips it out of the hands of the receiver. Outstanding defensive play by the rookie.
Sebastian Janikowski at age 37 and the Raiders' all-time scoring leader. Will try and get Oakland on the board from 23 yards away. And remember, the long snapper, the Pro Bowler Kondo, who helped out last week, was put on the injured list. Thomas Gafford, a one-time Packer, more recently a Kansas City Chief, added and helping to snap the ball in our booth. Well, it's an interesting start with the Packer defense coming up with some big plays, but the Roberts drop of the touchdown pass really could have swung this game to get Oakland right back in.
I think so. It could loom large, that drop in the end zone. Seth Roberts, who's been very reliable down in the red zone for the Raiders of late, isn't able to pull in that touchdown, and now they're down by 11 points. But Derek Carr has got to get himself under control. I like the way he's responded after those 2 early interceptions, get them down the field and a chance to score. But put Green Bay back on the field. Aaron Rodgers, as good as he's been today, see if he can continue that for these Packers offense.
It's starting to rain a little bit more. Remember, it's in the forecast for more rain in the afternoon. Now, Derek Carr told us, he said he didn't mind throwing a wet football. They had sloppy weather conditions in a game with Tennessee. He had a drop snap in that game, but they played well enough to win that game, and it's going to have to be that kind of game for Carr and the Raiders if they want to come back trailing by 11.
And it could be a factor, Chris. Obviously, we mentioned the field earlier, but this offense, the Raiders offense, spends a lot of time in shotgun formation. See if it factors if this rain really continues to pick up.
Remember, the Packers last week ran for 230 yards. That was the best rushing attack by a Packer team since 2004. So with a sizable lead, they could go back to that if they want. Try and play keep away. Janikowski's kick is gathered in by Jeff Janis and knocked down just across the 20-yard line. Just the third time the Packers have played in Oakland. The last time back in 2003, one of the more incredible moments in NFL history. Brett Favre taking the field against the Raiders the night after his father had passed away. It was an emotional performance. Favre threw 4 touchdown passes in the first half. The Packers went on to beat the Raiders 41-7. First time playing here for Aaron Rodgers. And with Eddie Lacy in the backfield. A first down. Lacy protecting the football and will lose a yard. Dan Williams making the stop.
You see Green Bay there, not a lot of yardage because of the 2 turnovers on defense, got them in scoring position.
And without a huddle, that muddle huddle, the Packers like to call it. Rodgers throw on target, a flag. The opposite side of the field is James Jones, the one-time Raider, back with the Pack, making the catch. Now officials have the headsets where they can talk to each other from all areas on the field. Walt Anderson is one of those that will lean on other officials.
Illegal hands to the face, number 29, defense. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
David Amerson.
Well, this was on the other side of the field here, and this is David Amerson down here on Davante Adams. And right there you see the hands to the face, and I believe that's what the call was.
Automatic first down, spotted now at the 26-yard line. Amerson has been, in fact, he was one of the top players in the league in passes defended. Penalty there as Lacy carries, gets through the hole and up to the 30-yard line. Lacy, who had a sack earlier on the tackle.
You know, one thing that I really love about Khalil Mack is when you watch him play, obviously he's a great rusher leading the league in sacks, but he's equally as effective as a run defender, plays 100 miles an hour, gets a tackle there.
Hey, gun! 21! Ready, go!
Rodgers. He goes down, and he goes down hard. Ben Heaney got in on him.
Ben Heaney, right in the middle of your screen, right here, is going to just run through a gap, run through a blocker. You see Eddie Lacy try to come back late. Not in time. Big sack for the Raiders.
A loss of 8, and that's now 3rd and 14. Pressure, Rodgers steps up and going deep down the middle. And just off the fingertips of Davante Adams. DJ Hayden was running with him. And it's 4th down.
Good job by the Raiders defense getting off on 3rd down. The sack obviously helps there. Looking at good field position now for Derek Carr in this offense on this upcoming punt.
Jeremy Ross standing at the 30. They got close to Tim Nasty last time. Here it looks like they're setting up a return on a short kick that will bounce. And waving everybody away was Ross. And they picked up another 10 yards on that. Ball is back at the 22-yard line where the Raiders will take over on offense, trailing 14-3. Raiders on offense here, and last week when they made the adjustment against the Broncos in the second half, Jack Del Rio had his tight ends a little bit more involved in the passing game.
Yeah, Clive Walford came alive for them last week. Michael Rivera is on the field now as the only tight end. They still got time to be patient here.
27.
Said it earlier. Derek Carr has settled down, see if he can get back into a rhythm of this football game, get some points on the board for the Raiders here.
That's Rivera in motion to the top of your screen. Carr gives to Murray, who's dancing around. Gets up to the 32-yard line. On his 10th carry of the game, looked like he got close to the first down marker.
Watch his footwork here in the hole. Tackler comes to his legs, just steps right out of it. Great balance for a big man Latavius Murray has. You know, I think this offense, get him involved, get him going, take some pressure off your young quarterback.
He came in needing 122 yards for his first 1,000-yard rushing season. And he owns a couple of 100-yard games this year. See if he has enough for the first. See how damp that football is. The rain has stopped for the moment. And that's a first down.
It looks really misty out here from our perspective. The rain is not quite sure that it's getting down to the football field, but it's definitely wet. It's cold. I think it's going to put even more emphasis on the Raiders running the football here. You don't usually get this weather up here, do you, Chris?
It's unusual in California, but there's been a drought, so you take every bit of rain you can get. That's Murray following blockers. Met hard and run out of bounds by Jake Ryan, a rookie linebacker from Michigan.
That's an interesting position for the Green Bay Packers. Jake Ryan has played, Nate Palmer's played, Joe Thomas has played at that other linebacker spot. You really haven't settled on a guy yet.
They go without a huddle. Carr, quick pass is on target. That's Crabtree, who came in with 70 catches, leading the team, the former 49er, who historically, when he was in San Francisco, had some pretty big games against the Packers.
Well, he's been a really good influence, I think, on this football team. Obviously comes in after being somewhat discarded in San Francisco, unwanted, I would say, but I hear he's a great influence on the room, great influence on the rookie receiver, Amari Cooper. He's having a big season.
Single.
3rd and 3. It's a run straight ahead. And there goes Murray inside the 40 of Green Bay.
Well, just like last week, these Green Bay Packers continue to get gashed on these quick-hitting running plays. Watch the double-team block right here. Opens up an enormous gash for Latavius Murray. And look at that. There's nobody even close to making that tackle at the line of scrimmage. And when it gets to the second level, watch out.
And without a huddle, Carr hustles him up to the 39 of Green Bay.
Easy. OP.
It's Murray again, inside the 35.
I love the command that Derek Carr has of this offense. Again, only in his second year, making checks at the line of scrimmage. Look how comfortable he is running this offense from under center.
After a 5-yard pickup, he fakes, he's in trouble, has to get rid of it, but the catch is made. It's Crabtree who came back to the football.
What a tremendous play by Derek Carr. 3 Packers are closing down on him. And then Michael Crabtree, this one-on-one matchup outside. He's beat the receivers deep. But look, ball's underthrown, has the wherewithal to come back for that football, help his quarterback out.
And again, the up-tempo. Carr for the end zone. Incomplete. Clive Walford, the target, and he thought he was being held there by Morgan Burnett. A little grab of the jersey that maybe the official didn't see, but he was complaining about it.
Chris, I'm going to say he was held here. He got away with it. Morgan Burnett, right before he made that attempt to defend that ball, he definitely had a handful of Clive Walford's jersey. But good no call. You know, I'm a DB. I'll give him credit for not calling that.
From a biased point of view. After that 23-yard gainer on the play to Crabtree, the incomplete pass. Raiders threatening again on 2nd and 10. There's nowhere to go. nothing for Murray, and it'll bring up third down.
Well, second trip now for the Raiders back-to-back into the red zone. Tried to get your big tight end. You mentioned there how involved they were last week getting them back into the football game. 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 11 here down on the 13-yard line. Let's see if they try to dial up again to get the ball to their big tight end. He's right here in the slot on that matchup.
And over on that side, Andre Holmes, who's 6'4", a target of Carr's in the end zone. Packers only rushed 3. Carr is looking around. He's pointing and dumps it incomplete. There was just nowhere to go, at least that he could spot.
Good coverage on the back end there, Chris. I mean, he had bought himself plenty of time, but nobody's really working hard enough to get open, and he just has to dump this thing out of bounds and give them a field goal opportunity.
15 out of 22 so far, including one earlier today, and this will be from 30 yards. Again, the new snapper there, Thomas Gafford. All good. Green Bay's defense tightens up when the Raiders get near the goal line. It's 14-6.
Hey, Coach Madden. We want to reach out and wish you well from recovering from your heart surgery. Wanted to do that here from the Raider Nation. I think about you every day. As we're building this thing great again, we're thinking of you. Our wishes are with you. Speedy recovery. You inspire everything that we're doing here in Oakland, getting the Raiders great again.
John Madden, the Hall of Famer, after heart surgery, doing well and watching the Raiders. Had a hand in bringing Jack Del Rio to Oakland as the head coach. Del Rio grew up in Hayward, California, about 10 miles from here, and owner Mark Davis glad to have him. Raiders with a chance to have a winning season. Trailing at the moment by 8. Janis knocked down around the 22-yard line. The Big East begins conference play next week. It's all on FS1, a sensational matchup on New Year's Eve. 10th-ranked Xavier and 12th-ranked Villanova. It's on your home for Big East Hoops FS1. You can always see it streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Well, the Raider defense has played well, Ronde. If it wasn't for the 2 turnovers, the game would be a lot tighter.
Well, they're holding the Packers to 0-3 on 3rd down. We talked in the open about the identity of this Packers offense as they make this stretch run to the playoffs. So far, haven't got much going.
James Starks in for the first time today. Lacey has run the ball with Kuhn, who has the touchdown run. And Rodgers' pass is complete, but thrown down as Adams right away on a short gain. We thought that Charles Woodson and Aaron Rodgers, who said hello to each other before the game, would be playing some mind games all afternoon. We'll keep a close watch on that.
Ready, set.
Quick pass going out to James Jones, and he gets the first down. It was in the pregame, of course, together for the Super Bowl. Great respect for each other, but Aaron was telling us yesterday that in practice it would get competitive. Woodson said, I'd see him even when we were together with Green Bay, come out of a huddle with a nod. If I got a pick or batted one of his passes, he'd get frustrated. Well, today it'll be a little bit different.
Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah. Green 18! Green 18!
Rodgers. He's been sacked twice today and has to get rid of it.
Well, Aaron Rodgers was looking at Randall Cobb right there, and Charles Woodson had a bead on the receiver he was trying to get the ball to. You know, Charles Woodson, in my mind, I mean, you can look at the numbers. He won't catch all-time leading interception, but he is the most complete defensive back, I think, in the history of the game now. Playing inside, outside, switching to safety. It's a fantastic football player.
And he said that Rodgers is the best passer out of the pocket he's ever seen in the history of the game, and he's seen a lot. On 2nd and 10. This is Starks. And James Starks, who Rodgers spoke glowingly of, saying he was the glue that held the team together when they were in that losing streak.
And speaking of Charles, man, he's 39 years old. I don't know how he's doing it still. He's fighting injuries. I talked to him before the game. He's actually told me he's feel like he's getting healthy now towards the end of this season. It'll be interesting when it comes up at the end if he decides to continue to play at 40 years old next year.
Rodgers watching where Woodson is on third down, and falling down to make the catch was Richard Rodgers, who slipped coming out of his turn, or he might have been in position to get the first down. Let's see if they go for it on 4th and short. And the Packers, without hesitation, are coming to the line.
I like this decision.
Well, they haven't been good running here on 3rd and 1 or short yardage. Let's see what they do on 4th and a yard.
He might be playing dummy with us all.
If they can draw him offsides, Rodgers is one of the best. In fact, 8 times on the road this year. He's gotten teams with a hard count. And the Raiders didn't fall for it.
Yeah, and it was really on the center treader there. He kept looking through his legs up, trying to get the Raiders defensive line to jump, but they weren't falling for it. And you mentioned him, Aaron Rodgers, for playing on the road, he gets more defensive penalties on hard counts. It's amazing. It's credit to him.
So the Packers use a timeout. They'll discuss. There's Brad Seeley, the special teams coach. Let's see if they are going to punt it away. And here comes Mastay.
And again, your special teams unit has to put cotton in their ears again here. They could try to get them to jump off sides.
Saying don't listen to
Don't listen to them.
Okay.
That was a big metaphor when I was playing. Cotton in your ears, man. They keep their defense on the field just in case something's up.
Mastay gets it away and into the end zone, so it'll be a touchback. And there is a flag down back at the 45-yard line. Looks like maybe holding here. Each team has had 3 penalties accepted against them.
And the Raiders will get a choice here, punting the ball downwind. I think Jack Del Rio will take
During the kick,
result.
Holding number 47 of the kicking team. Oakland has elected to enforce the 10-yard penalty from the touchback spot of the 20-yard line, which will make it 1st and 10 at the 30 for Oakland. Timeout.
Call on Jake Ryan, so it sets up the Raider offense in better position as Aaron Rodgers and Woodson said hello before the kick. 3 tight ends in for the Raiders. 1st and 10 from the 30 after the penalty. Marcel Reese splits out as a receiver. And Derek Carr has time. And almost another interception. Quentin Rollins went back on that one. Carr, who grew up in California, went to Fresno State, grew up in Bakersfield, and watched Aaron Rodgers and imitated him a lot. He said he'd never met him until just before the game today. I think Rodgers was preoccupied with Charles Woodson. Did you know who that was?
He said, "Get out of here, kid. We're talking grown man business over here."
But he did say, the what he liked about watching Rodgers, the quick throw, getting rid of it, and also the throwing on the run. And it looked like Carr was more comfortable going without the huddle in the previous series. Here he gets to Murray. And it'll be 3rd down.
Well, it's definitely a changeup they can use because Derek Carr is so comfortable. But really that last drive was because of the running of Latavius Murray. The offensive line's doing a great job up front, creating some running lanes. And now he's sitting at 3rd and 7. See what Derek Carr can come up with here. See if they keep the chains moving.
Seth Roberts, who left injured, went to the locker room, has not been back out. He had trouble with that pass in the end zone. He's a guy that has come on lately for Carr in these situations. Need to get to the 40, pressure coming, and he had to get rid of it quick. It's short of the 1st down to his tight end.
Big hit on Derek Carr. Mike Neal comes off that edge and just blows up Derek Carr. Gets it out of his hands quickly. It's not enough for the first down.
Now King, whose first punt after such an outstanding game last week against the Broncos, it was just 24 yards. Last 2 drives they haven't needed him because they ended up in field goals. Standing at the 23, low snap. He gets it away, and a high booming kick. Little back up Micah Hyde. Fair catch called for. Bounces, and can they save it and down it? Yes, they did.
What a kick by Marquette King. That was into the wind, and he put that on a dime like a sand wedge. What a great young kicker Marquette King is.
Tywan Jones got there first, and then looked like Holmes and the rest of the Raiders special teamers were able to down it. And without a return, helping to fire up the Raiders sideline.
Well, he was such a big factor in that game last week, beating Denver on the road because of his punting. And now you're Green Bay, you're backed up. Watch out for Khalil Mack. Last week he helped change the game with a sack in the end zone. See what Green Bay decides to do here.
Mack already with a sack today and leads the NFL with 15. J.J. Watt did not have one earlier in the Houston win over Indy. On first down, it's Lacy going nowhere. And Rodgers has already been sacked twice today. So that's 11 straight games. He's been sacked 2 times or more, which is a Packer record, one they would not like to be adding on to. Back Green Bay, their first 5 possessions, just 35 yards. From his own end zone. And knocked away at the last moment. James Jones was the target, but Emerson was there.
Tremendous play by David Emerson right there. Look at the calm. Got to be calm down the field. Got a step. He's getting beat by a step, but no panic in his game. You wonder why he leads the league in pass breakup. It's right there.
0 for 4 on third down. There's a flag down, and the pass is incomplete.
Well, the Raiders made a critical mistake here, trying to substitute on third down. And Aaron, you cannot do it with Aaron Rodgers. He's going to quick snap you, and you're going to get a participation foul on the Oakland Raiders defense right here.
Or 12 men on the field.
May have been 13 or 14 men on the field right there.
Defense with 12 players on the field. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
And the problem here, Chris, is that the bench for the Raiders is so far away from where they are in the position of the field. You got these big, enormous defensive linemen trying to hustle off the field. They just can't get down there. Aaron Rodgers is a master of doing that. Substitution penalties are always a problem with him at quarterback. They play so fast.
Ken Norton's defense will have to adjust. That's what Jack Del Rio. Now there are, of course, regulations about allowing the defense to substitute, but now a 3rd and 5. Rodgers from his own end zone. Some hand fighting going on. Here comes a flag. Came in late. That's Cobb over there.
Just a little out and up by Randall Cobb, and as opposed to the way David Emerson just played that last pass.
Pass interference, number 48, defense. First down at the spot of the foul.
He meant number 38, T.J. Carey. He tries to look back for this football, and he just panics. He gets a little out of whack. You'll see the matchup right here, out and up by Randall Cobb. And watch when he turns to try to play this football. He just panics, get his hands inside on the receiver. It's an easy penalty for the official on the back end there.
Cobb has 2 catches for 1 yard today, but the penalty is worth 17 yards and a first down. Starks is in at running back. Packers dig out of a hole, and Starks finds one to pick up a few yards. I was mentioning before how Rodgers talked about him being so important, not only the glue in the running game when they were struggling, but he's a guy who supported Eddie Lacy when Lacy had some issues and was benched. In fact, Starks said of his teammate at running back, he needs uplifting, not lecturing. And Lacy has responded. Back as the starter. Although both running backs see time for this Packer offense. Rodgers incomplete. Trying to go to Richard Rodgers.
The Oakland Raiders are playing almost exclusively single high defense here, and corners, secondary guys are all on the line of scrimmage, trying to discourage Green Bay from running the football, and so they're forcing Aaron Rodgers to have to throw it. And to be honest, Chris, they're doing a great job. Same thing that's happened to Green Bay all year. The receivers can't create separation, and they're winning on third down. They got a big, tough test here again.
Third and 7. Rodgers. Open. First down. Catch is made across the 40. Goes Cobb all the way up near midfield. And the movement of Rodgers in the pocket allowed him to find an open Randall Cobb.
Well, they did a good job keeping him in the pocket, but Aaron Rodgers buys a lot of time. And watch Khalil Mack right here. Great job by Brian Bulaga pushing him around the edge, allowing Aaron Rodgers to step up in the pocket and find Randall Cobb for that big first down.
A gain of 23 from midfield. Starks inside the 45 of Oakland. Clock running, 2 timeouts for each team. It's the best stretch for this Green Bay offense in the first half. And it was started by penalties when they were backed up at their own 2.
The Raiders defense had a chance to keep them pinned down back there, but the penalty gives them a first down, and then Aaron Rodgers doing what Aaron Rodgers does, creating his magic with his feet to open up the passing game.
Ready, go! Nice, come on, come to it! Ready, go!
Rodgers, incomplete. Should have been caught by Richard Rodgers. Let's get a game break. Check in with Kurt Benefit.
About the only thing not going Denver's way at Pittsburgh is they missed an extra point on this Brock Osweiler touchdown run. Right now it's 20-7. They lead at the Steel City early on in the second quarter. Chris, Ronde and Jen.
Thanks, Kurt. The Broncos headed toward the playoffs, as are the Packers. The Steelers in a wild card race, along with the Raiders and some other teams. And Oakland will use a timeout here on third down and 5.
Well, this is an important stop for the Raiders defense. Get the ball back for your quarterback leading into the 2-minute drive here and see if we can get some points on the board. But equally as important for Green Bay, they haven't had a drive sustained. Obviously, we talked earlier, the interceptions got them into scoring position. They finally get a drive going here. And I think they took that timeout because they were not manned up correctly against a substituting Packers offense there.
The Raiders will get the ball to start the second half. Remember, they deferred. Green Bay will be kicking off to Oakland. Raiders now have 1 timeout remaining with the 2-minute warning. But Rodgers interested in getting Green Bay more points. Defensive touchdown on the interception return by the rookie Demarius Randall. And then John Kuhn scored a touchdown after the Micah Hyde interception in the opening quarter. On third down, Rodgers from the pocket completes, and that's good enough for the first down. Justin Perillo, the backup tight end, to Rodgers.
Justin Perillo was a guy that just dropped that last opportunity. Big first down catch there.
And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Packers with a 14-6 advantage, and inside the Oakland 40, threatening to get more. You can get apps, videos, and a lot more at itunes.com/NFL. With Ronde Barber, Chris Myers, glad to have you watching the NFL on Fox in Oakland, where Aaron Rodgers picking up the first down has James Starks in the backfield. And the pass is caught by Davante Adams, knocked down right away.
Well, the field's continuing to be an issue here. David Amerson fell down on that coverage of Davante Adams while he was so wide open. This rain is continuing to miss down on this football field.
Some of the turf on the helmet.
No. Stain it. Stain it. Over. All right. 319.
James Starks turns the corner for a first down. Pounds his way down inside the 21. The ball came out at the end, and the Raiders got to it first. Charles Woodson knocked the ball out, but let's see who came up with the clean recovery. It's Oakland's football. Benson Mayoa looked like he came out of there with it.
Well, this was a violent hit by Charles Woodson. I mean, he may have taken the brunt out of it, but look at Mayoa pull the ball out on the way to the ground. What an outstanding play. In there playing for Mario Edwards Jr., who's still in the locker room for the Raiders. Good team defense. Get the ball back for their offense.
First takeaway by this Raider defense. That's how they were able to get the victory against the Broncos last week. Of course, the official will review it upstairs under 2 minutes here, but it certainly looks like a clean fumble and recovery, and Woodson forcing the turnover on Starks. On the field, and the officials taking a closer look.
Well, you see the strip, and I think this ball is definitely coming loose before James Starks' butt hits the ground here. And if his elbow's down or any part of his behind is on the ground, it won't be a fumble. That ball is clearly oscillating out of his hands before he touches anywhere on the ground.
No if or ands or buts about it.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field of a fumble stands as called first down Oakland.
Jack Del Rio's defense, his team, their 21st takeaway to go with 22 giveaways, including the 2 interceptions from earlier today. And so now the Raiders with 1 timeout. Now they do have Michael Crabtree went into the locker room injured. Seth Roberts came back out on the bench, but he has been injured. So they had Jeremy Ross in at receiver, who's mostly a return specialist. They also have Andre Holmes out there and Michael Rivera, the tight end. And have added 2 tight ends on first down. Pressure coming, the screen. Marcel Reese following blockers. Reese with a lot of room near midfield.
Exactly the type of play you're looking for to start a 2-minute drive. Invite the defense in, throw a screen behind them, and a great run by Marcel Reese after the catch.
A gain of 29 yards as the clock runs. Under a minute to go from midfield. Quick pass is low but caught. That's Michael Rivera who puts a move on. Then gets down to the 36, another Raider first down.
Good decision by Michael Rivera there to try to get extra yardage. You have a timeout in your favor, plenty of time on the clock. Good heady play by the tight end there.
Saving the timeout. Carr cannot afford a sack here. He can run and take it all the way for another first down and go out of bounds at the 20.
Well, you mentioned his offensive coordinator wanted him to use his legs more, and it's exactly what he did here. He bought some time. The edge of the defense is completely collapsed, and then Derek Carr is a good enough athlete to pick up some big yardage here.
A 17-yard run puts the ball inside the 20, down to the 19 with 25 seconds to go and a timeout. All the Raider offense has been able to muster today is a couple of field goals. Derek Carr for the end zone. Catch made. Touchdown, Amari Cooper.
Fantastic play design. Outstanding execution by Derek Carr and Amari Cooper. Get a little rollout, and Amari Cooper's going to go here and then bust to the corner of the end zone. Watch Derek Carr layer this ball to his wide receiver. He's wide open. Nobody in the Packers secondary follows Amari Cooper. What a great 2-minute drive by this Raiders offense.
And the extra point by Janikowski. opted not to go for two and try and tie it. But Carr to Cooper, the rookie and the second-year quarterback. 5th touchdown catch of the season for Cooper, who was held without a catch last week and celebrating with Raider Nation.
Do not need to tell you how important that touchdown drive is, especially because they're getting the ball coming out of half. Very, very impressive.
Cooper, who's been bothered by a foot injury, making a big catch there, and it all started with a takeaway from the Raider defense, just like last week when they were able to turn things upside down against the Broncos.
You know, and they talked about playing meaningful games, whether or not they get into the playoffs. Learning to win in December will pay dividends for this young football team down the road. And I got to tell you, Derek Carr continues to impress me. I've had him a number of times. He continues to show his worth.
Visa halftime report coming up. Highlights of how the Giants lost to the undefeated Carolina Panthers. That put the Packers into the playoffs. The Redskins win at home. So do the Vikings. And here are the Raiders with success behind their franchise quarterback. Haven't had a guy like this since Kenny Stabler, really. And his 29th touchdown pass of the season. Rich Gannon had 28, and he's one away from being the first Raider quarterback since Darryl LaMonica to get to 30 touchdown passes or more in a season.
Been some great drafts around here in Oakland the past couple of years. It's an emerging football team.
Kuhn has the squib kick at the 26 and hit hard up around the 35-yard line, and he did it on that drive with some injured receivers. Let's check back in with Jennifer.
Yeah, Chris, this Raiders offense, the injuries are just piling up for them, unfortunately. You mentioned Michael Crabtree. He's back in the locker room being evaluated for a concussion. Seth Roberts is trying to work his way through an abdominal injury. He's arguing to go back in, but right now he's still in too much pain to do so.
All right, thank you very much. We'll get more on that at the half. The Packers, how quickly things turned. They were moving in already field goal range to try and add to their lead, but Woodson knocks the ball loose from Starks.
5-1.
Raiders come the other way. Carr produces the touchdown to Amari Cooper, and now it's a 1-point game.
Go.
14 seconds, still 2 timeouts for Aaron Rodgers. And he's got the sideline open, but can't get it to James Jones.
And Aaron Rodgers got to be upset with himself. James Jones was sprinting unabated right there, and he completely overfires down the sideline. Yeah, I've seen a number of times this year where Aaron Rodgers has missed those throws.
And they're not quite in position, but who can forget the Hail Mary to win a game against the Lions? There's 6 seconds here. We know that Rodgers can get the ball in the air some 60, 70 yards.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they set that up.
There's Richard Rodgers, the tight end, who made that miraculous grab. Instead, it's Devontae Adams knocked down right away. And did they get the timeout in time or no? Rodgers wanted a timeout. And Walt Anderson is saying, we didn't see anybody call it. And the Raiders are already in the locker room.
The Raiders are gone, so.
And this is one of those unique stadiums where the teams go into the locker room together. And then their lockers split off. This may be something.
Wow, I can't believe they didn't get a timeout there. Yet
now, usually
4 seconds.
Usually a coach will tell an official on the sideline, hey, at the end of this play, we're going to get the timeout, so at least people are looking for it. But that is the end of the first half, and the Raiders coming on strong to get to within a point at 14-13. And the Packers will be kicking off to the Raiders to start the second half. Couple of interceptions early by the Green Bay defense. And Derek Carr's touchdown pass to Amari Cooper. And it's 14-13 Green Bay at the break. Right now, let's head to Los Angeles and the Visa halftime report. Get the third quarter going. They will kick off to the Raiders. Today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. It was right before the half. Maybe to set up a Hail Mary. Clock running with 2 timeouts. And look, Aaron Rodgers calls the timeout with 2 seconds on the clock, and it was not granted by the officiating crew, so a missed opportunity for the Packers. And that was today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. A lot of excitement in the opening quarter when Green Bay had 2 interceptions. One was a run back for a touchdown. And then Derek Carr with the touchdown pass to Amari Cooper just before the half after a James Starks fumble caused by Charles Woodson. It's a 14-13 game. And the rain falling lightly here in Oakland. Crosby drives this. Jones from the 1-yard line of Oakland. Taiwan Jones run out of bounds up around the 20-yard line. Well, the Packer offense, Ronde, has under 100 total yards, more than 200 total yards for the Raiders. What kind of game do you think we're going to see here in the second half?
As this rain continues to fall, it's probably going to be a messy game, and the Packers are going to have to rely on the running game. I know that Oakland is populating the box, putting 8 guys in there and forcing Aaron Rodgers to throw, and they haven't been winning outside, to be honest with you. So a lot of credit to this Raiders defense. Also, this Raiders offense now, they came alive in the second quarter. Derek Carr running some hurry-up offense. Latavius Murray getting some big chunk runs. See what they got coming out of half here.
Michael Crabtree is back out on the field after leaving with injury. Latavius Murray gets knocked down right away. Murray had 64 yards rushing in the first half. Let's head back down to the field and Jennifer.
Chris, Mike McCarthy let his defense have it in the locker room, saying he thought they let off the gas. Meanwhile, Jack Del Rio tells me he's going to keep up the aerial attack despite worsening conditions down here on the field because he wants to keep Derek Carr's confidence high. Seth Roberts out for the game. Michael Crabtree did clear concussion protocol. Mario Edwards also out for the rest of today, Chris.
All right, thank you, as Carr is back to pass. And it's going to go down. The Packers with a sack, and it's Julius Peppers with his 8th of the year.
Well, Derek Carr had plenty of time to find a receiver here. Julius Peppers just keeps working on this edge, working on Jamarcus Webb over there, but see the quarterback climb in the pocket. Julius Peppers has been doing this his entire career. 133.5 sacks now. Great football player.
At age 35, and a positive influence on the young linebackers you talked about that they're trying to work in, like Jake Ryan and Nate Palmer. Now 3rd and 14. Carr on the move, has to go underneath. There's a flag down as Clive Walford is brought down across the 20-yard line.
That flag's going to be a hold in the backfield, which the Packers will likely decline.
Holding. Number 68, offense. The penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
That call on John Feliciano, and I don't think Feliciano was saying Feliz Navidad. But the penalty,
you couldn't wait to work that in, could you?
You know, we kid because we care. It's the holidays.
Absolutely.
It's festive. You saw the ornaments in our booth.
Beautiful setup by Chip and Bill up here.
It's a great week to be covering football as the kick is away for Marquette King. Had a 60-yarder before, but room to run up near midfield on the return. And Micah Hyde sets up the Packers in good shape. They have the football, they have the lead. Here at Oakland, fans were cheering. They showed the scoreboard where the 49ers are trailing at the half to the Bengals 21-0 over in Santa Clara. Extremely rare that the 49ers and the Raiders would be playing at home at the same time on the same day. Raiders trailing now by 1 as Lacey is in at running back from midfield.
319!
We talked just at halftime about how Green Bay has been lining up and having to throw the football with the Raiders playing 8-man boxes. I want to see if they can commit to the run here. Play some run-it runs. When they call it run-it, don't have Aaron Rodgers check out of it. Turn around and hand it to Eddie Lacy and see if they can get some yardage on the board here.
They've only run for 31 total yards. They ran for 230 last Sunday. Of course, that was against the Cowboys.
319!
Lacey gets some blocks. Is out of bounds. He'll be short of the first down.
We already see the structure of the offense change. Early in this game, we saw 3 wide receivers on the field. Now, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Got a nice block by Perillo there to get the corner for Eddie Lacy. Seems early in this half that they're going to commit to turn around and handing the ball off to their running backs.
Starks lost the fumble in the first half. Lacey has lost 2 fumbles this year, and again, it's wet and slick out there. On 3rd down at 2.
Set! 319! 319! Blue 58! Blue 58!
Lacey, and they struggle on 3rd and short once again.
3 straight runs. This Packers offense cannot convert 3rd and shorts. And this was a really good play by this defensive front of the Raiders.
And it looks like they're going to leave Rodgers out. Are they going to go for it? Are they going to try and draw him offside again?
Well, I think they might decide just to go for this. Mike McCarthy is sitting on this sideline. He cannot be happy right now with the inability to run the football right now.
So 9 out of the last 10 times when they were 3rd and 1, they failed to get the first. This will be 4th, closer to 2 yards. Rodgers rolling in the area. Cobb is open. His defender fell down. And there he goes down the sideline. And there'll be a flag or 2. T.J. Carey was late.
Well, again, T.J. Carey in a one-on-one situation. He's going to fall down, first of all. Aaron Rodgers misses Cobb inexplicably here. But T.J. Carey in a trail position. He's out of phase and panics. Cannot panic down the field.
Defense. First down at the spot of the foul.
As a defender in deep coverage, it's the 2nd time today we've seen him fail in that situation.
And it is the 6th penalty for more than 70 yards assessed against the Raiders. And on a 4th and short, Rodgers makes something happen. And the Raiders secondary penalized. A gain of 29 yards.
Go out! Yeah, ready, go! Ready, go!
From the 14, Rodgers. End zone, off the hands of Devontae Adams. There's DJ Hayden covering there.
Nice pass by Aaron Rodgers, and Devontae Adams really looks like he could have come down with this football. Good coverage by DJ Hayden getting back into the play, but that hits him right in the midst. And another drop for Devontae Adams. Hasn't really come through this year as a receiver, and you know, instead of Jordy Nelson, who's out with that knee injury. They've needed those chunk type of plays, and they haven't been produced by any of these receivers this year.
Jeff Janis comes in at receiver in motion. Eddie Lacy to carry, and he's got some blockers in front of him. Runs into a Raider and knocks him over before going out of bounds. This will bring up a 3rd down. He'll need about 2.
Well, we'll see what Mike McCarthy draws up here. Obviously have struggled running on short yardage situations. They're only, 3rd down today, 2 of 7. Raiders have done a good job with all that beef up front. Justin Ellis, Dan Williams.
And again, Mike McCarthy calling the plays, something he took over last week. And on 3rd and 2 has Lacy in the backfield, a timeout. Rodgers has joked about the dialect of his head coach when the plays are sent in. Remember, the audio shuts off 15 seconds before the play clock, so there was some miscommunication there. Timeout for the Packers. This January, the celebration begins. We kick off the farewell season of American Idol. The show that made so many superstars is ready to discover an idol one last time. We hope you tune in for the farewell season, premiering Wednesday, January 6th on Fox.
Yeah, you got to wonder what the vision of this offense is, Chris, for me. I mean, I changed play callers last week because Tom Clements wasn't seeing the game the way that Mike McCarthy wanted to see the offense run. And yet you see them today, and they're struggling again. They can't run the football. They haven't been able to get the ball down the field in the passing game other than some pass interference calls on the Raiders. I still don't see a definitive identity for this football team. It's not emerging.
Yet they have the lead and a chance to get more on 3rd and 2. Rodgers Through the hands and incomplete. Jeff Janis was open. Rodgers had to drill it, and it's a wet football.
Just a little underneath route here, and Jeff Janis again, one of the receiver not coming through with a catch straight through his hands. It would have been a first down. Wet ball obviously played a factor in that drop, but again, they fail on third down.
An important stand for the Raiders, and now a 24-yard field goal attempt from Mason Crosby, who became the Packers' all-time leading scorer earlier this year, and delivers to make it a 4-point Green Bay lead. Mike McCarthy's team out in front, just over 10 minutes in the third.
Say hi to my family and friends back home and wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I love you, and we'll be seeing you soon.
And all of us at Fox Sports wish you a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, especially to all our servicemen and servicewomen around the world, keeping us safe. Mason Crosby, after punching the field goal through, ready to kick off with 10:18 to play here in the third quarter. Tywan Jones back at the Raider goal line. A steady drizzle continuing to fall here in Oakland, and he's coming out. Jones dancing around, stopped short of the 20 at the 19-yard line. On a wet, rainy day. I guess they have a lot of those up in Wisconsin when the weather changes.
They definitely travel with those. You don't need those very often down here in California.
How about you asked Mike McCarthy about, since it's rare the Raiders and Packers playing each other, about an unfamiliar opponent, and his line was, we started studying, we have to know them better than they know us.
Well, yeah, this is a unique game. It's an uncommon opponent. You only play them every 4 years with the new schedule set up. And he honestly told us this is going to be a street fight. It's easy for some Packers fans, I think, to overlook this game and look forward to the big game in Arizona next week. This is a big test for these Packers.
And Derek Carr on the run has to get rid of it. Now, even though he's a California guy, as we said, born in Bakersfield and went to Fresno State. Devontae Adams, by the way, a receiver of his there over on the Packers. But he wears the glove only on the non-throwing hand. And likes gripping the ball, but says he doesn't mind playing in the rain or with a wet football.
Yeah, I think a lot of quarterbacks are into that opposite hand glove now. It's really, you just get a more secure feel. The gloves are so tackified now that it's easy to hold on to the football with that offhand.
Teddy, express it. That's it.
For Amari Cooper, he's got it at the 40 of Green Bay.
And we came into this game talking about these young corners and the matchup that Derek Carr was going to have to take advantage of. And Amari Cooper at the line of scrimmage just beats Demarius Randall handedly. Open the gate, no bump on the receiver, and nice throw, great catch, big play for the Oakland Raiders offense.
And a 1,000-yard receiving season for the rookie from Alabama at age 21. The last 1,000-yard receiver for the Raiders, Randy Moss, in 2005.
Watch him.
After a gain of 41 yards. He fakes to Murray and then throws, tipped away and incomplete. Morgan Burnett knocked it away. It looked like he was trying to go to Andre Holmes.
Well, this play coming out of the middle of the field was almost another interception for Derek Carr. Andre Holmes was running a little crossing route, and just the whole safety almost makes a fantastic interception. Actually, that's the underneath defense. That was Morgan Burnett, almost makes a fantastic interception. It is a game of inches.
He's saying, I missed it by that much.
Yeah, you missed an interception by that much as well.
Derek Carr to throw again. He's got a lot of time, and deep for Holmes in the end zone, and incomplete. Demarius Randall went back there as the ball hung in the air. He's slow getting up. Randy, you wonder with two rookie corners, even though we're this late into the season, how much experience, and they've played a lot, how much Carr is going to attack them the rest of the day.
I would imagine that they would, especially when Demarius Randall's one-on-one down the field. Amari Cooper has shown the ability to beat him at the line of scrimmage. And Demarius Randall's a young player. That last big play, you know, Herm Edwards used to always tell me, it's called bump and run. It's not run and bump. You don't get your hands on the receivers at the line of scrimmage, you're likely going to lose.
Herm Edwards also, you play to win the game. Carr on third down, backpedaling, throws, catch made. That's Marcel Reese. Can he get the first down? Close as he lunges across the 30.
Well, that was a screen that Green Bay completely sniffed out. But Derek Carr did a fantastic job, continued to retreat from that rush. And then Marcel Reese almost does a great job getting the first down. And it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field here, Chris, and go for this 4th and short. Watch the hard count, see if they can get the Packers to jump.
The field goal would be quite a distance. Murray's the back. A 49-yard field goal.
What's that?
Straight ahead, first down, Raiders.
At the end of the day, you have a big back. You know you can trust straight ahead power football. And they did a great job converting that 4th and 1. And watch Marcel Reese. He's going to come this side of the formation. And usually when a running back crosses the formation, he's setting up a screen. But look at your quarterback buy time. Fantastic catch there by Marcel Reese. And then the extra effort gets them close enough to go for that on 4th down.
He has 2 catches, both screens, good for nearly 40 yards.
Blue Whitey! What's that?
At the 28, Murray will fall forward to the 26. Jake Ryan making the tackle.
To the 26.
18 carries in the game for Latavius Murray, nearing the 70-yard mark. And what a difference the rushing totals. Packer fans were watching their team last week, saying, wait a minute, is this the same team? And now their defense
We're good.
has to try and keep Oakland out of the end zone.
Down. Hey, Teddy. That's it.
Carr for Amari Cooper again. Touchdown Raiders!
Got him again. Derek Carr, what a fantastic job checking at the line of scrimmage. He knew that it was going to be man-to-man coverage. All those Green Bay Packers were on the line of scrimmage, and if you don't get your hands on the receiver, you're out of phase. Amari Cooper is just too good. Great execution, great touchdown by the Oakland Raiders.
Leaping into the air for his 2nd touchdown of the game. He's over 100 receiving yards, and Derek Carr has the Raiders out in front, overcoming 2 early interceptions. With Janikowski's extra point, it was 14-0 in the blink of an eye to start this game. But Carr and Cooper have the Raider fans celebrating at Ricky's in San Leandro. And Derek Carr with his 30th touchdown pass, tying Darryl Lamonica, and of course 4 away from the all-time Raider record.
The Force Awakens, huh, Chris?
Yes.
The Raiders
The
awaken.
Raider Nation. And Amari Cooper, the first rookie Raider receiver to go over 1,000 yards, only 21 years old, as Janis, the rain coming down a little bit harder, has room to run. Jeff Janis out of bounds across the 45. Corey Toomer may have saved a touchdown after a return of 47 yards to set up the Packers. But Carr to Cooper. It's an AC/DC combination. With RONDE Barber, Chris Myers in Oakland, and the Raiders with a 20-17 advantage here in the 3rd quarter. And Aaron Rodgers telling us before every snap he wants to be aware of where Khalil Mack and Charles Woodson are.
It's a chess game now. Aaron Rodgers playing from behind. He's going to need these receivers to step up and make some plays for him.
Randall Cobb in the backfield from the 47 of Green Bay. Time for Rodgers, and catch inside the 40. Abradaris, the rookie from Wisconsin, with Woodson covering him.
Well, if Aaron Rodgers gets that kind of time, he's going to dice up this Raiders secondary.
15 yards.
Keep an eye on Khalil Mack. Haven't heard much from him since the first quarter. Top of your screen.
And 2 catches made on the same play by James Jones.
Great concentration there by James Jones. That looked to be an incompletion all the way. But he's one of the most reliable receivers on the team, sure-handed.
Quick throw, open, and just like that, James Jones with a Packer touchdown. 30 yards.
Well, Oakland have been playing pretty exclusively man-to-man, single high. Here, they're playing zone, and it looks like there's a complete loss in communication on the back end. He's going to go out here down the street. He lets him go. This defender lets him go, and there's no safety over the top. You see it's hard corners, probably playing cover 2. There needs to be a corresponding safety over there. Charles Woodson is late. Easy touchdown for Green Bay. What a quick response.
The outstanding return on the kickoff by Janis. And then 53 yards in 3 plays, and with the extra point, Green Bay back to a 4-point lead. And James Jones, a one-time Raider, cut back in Green Bay, said no revenge, I'll just take the touchdown. And Aaron Rodgers and James Jones were able to take advantage. And now it's 24-20 Packers. And the tempo, the pace of that Green Bay offense seemed to catch the Raider defense off guard. Crosby drives this kick into the end zone, and it bounces for a touchback.
You're exactly right about the pace, and really inexplicable. Look at Charles Woodson right here, completely looking for clarification on what these calls are. Some Raiders walking around. Stop it right here. Look how many open guys are there in the screen right there. Complete loss of coverage. I don't want to put that on the free safety Charles Woodson, but that was a blown call there by that Raiders defense.
Ken Norton, defensive coordinator, upset by the result. So is Charles Woodson. It has quieted this Raider crowd that was so fired up after the Cooper catch. From the 20-yard line, Derek Carr. Amari Cooper goes out of bounds. And the good and the bad of it for Derek Carr was a rough start, throwing 2 interceptions. One was a pick 6. That's now 4 in his career.
Gets a little talking to by his head coach, and then he just puts his foot on the gas, is the architect of some big drives, and he gets congratulations from said head coach. He's going to need to put together a drive here to answer that quick strike by that Green Bay offense.
Blue ID! What's up?
And Latavius Murray goes nowhere. It'll be 3rd down. Mike Neal stuffing the running back. It's Amari Cooper coming back into the game as Marcel Reese checks out. Reese has been big on some screens, but after a loss of 2, they need to get up to the 30.
White! White, 25! White, 25, go! Got him! Run that, down! Blue ID! What's up?
Derek Carr, he can run for the 1st down, and then some. To the 43. It wasn't a slide, it was a sit.
Derek Carr does a great job diagnosing what's going on this Packers defense right here. They're playing 2-man, two high safeties. Everybody down here is playing 2-man underneath. So what that does, it opens up the middle of the field. There's nobody in here, so he could just pull down the ball and run for a 1st down. Good job by Derek Carr.
And when his offensive coordinator, Bill Musgrave, said, I know you want to throw, but sometimes you have to run 3 rushes for 40 yards today.
Early in the game, he forced a throw into that same coverage, and it was the interception by Micah Hyde.
He has time, and incomplete. Looked like Clive Walford went the other way. Carr was thinking he was going more up than over.
Oh boy, he had a little miscommunication there. That would have been an enormous play. Walford was wide open there. There's Walford right there in the slot. Some miscommunication again on the Packers secondary. Look, you see the linebacker lets him go, and the corner's late. That ball would have been inside. He'd still be running, I think.
Hey, Teddy! Hey, Teddy! Circus!
He's only been sacked once today.
Circus! Monday down! Easy! Hey,
And wants a timeout. Derek Carr this week playing Santa with his offensive lineman. He got them all like 55-inch flat screen TVs.
I'm getting you one for Christmas.
So they are the Microsoft tablets. Of course, everybody has those to do their homework. This Packer team, they know they're in the playoffs. They're trying for their 10th win of the season. You've talked about how they're trying to figure out their offense. What about where their defense stands as they try and make a run deep into the playoffs?
Well, they need to be more stout up front. They have the bodies up there, but they've been getting gashed in the past 2 weeks. Obviously, you're playing with 2 rookie corners, which is going to affect the rest of this game, probably affect it throughout the rest of the season. And you just hope that Sam Shields is available from that concussion early, because they got a big game against Arizona next week. And I got to tell you, they're struggling today, these young corners against Amari Cooper.
We'll give some of those Microsoft tablets to our staff here so we could watch some of the videotape of these teams when we prepare. Carr on the move and gets rid of it.
Hey, man, slow the fuck down. Let me get there, yo.
It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Big 3rd down here for Derek Carr in this offense. They've taken some shots at Demarius Randall. If the Packers give them single high look, don't be surprised if he takes another look at 23, 89 on 23, because Dom Capers told us Demarius, who last week played man up on Des Bryant, is going to get the assignment on Amari Cooper. And they go to the top of the screen here. See what coverage they have dialed up.
6 catches, 120 yards, and a couple of touchdowns for Cooper. That's Murray in motion. On 3rd and 10, Carr open and incomplete. He's a little bit behind Cooper. It would have been a big gain to keep the Raiders with possession of the football.
Would have been a 1st down. Playing zone coverage. Derek Carr does a good job piping that through there. Again, the field plays an issue. Amari Cooper sliding to the ground, can't get his footing. He isn't able to come up with that tough catch.
Marquette King standing inside the Raider 30, and Micah Hyde back at the Packer 10. Just 3:25 to play here in the 3rd quarter. A short kick that will bounce and roll. And to the 5. Well played by Marquette King. Let's head back down to the field. Jennifer?
Well, Chris, Raiders GM Reggie McKenzie received a very special gift pregame today, something he never thought he'd see again, his 1996 Super Bowl ring. About 10 years ago, it was stolen out of his car while he was traveling. Recently, Wisconsin authorities recovered it during a drug bust. And, well, Packers security packed it up, brought it on this road trip, and gave it back to him pregame. As you might imagine, he was all smiles, Chris.
Well, Jennifer, after 18 years in the Packer organization, what he's been able to do in the last couple of drafts to try and get the Raiders in the right direction, drafting Mack and Derek Carr, and then this year with Amari Cooper, hiring of Jack Del Rio has been absolutely amazing.
And picking up some very valuable free agents. Talked about Charles Woodson. We talked about him a lot. But yes, this team is on the rise. They got the right head coach, I think, and they're definitely building this team through the draft.
Backed up with the black hole behind him from the 5. Randall Cobb gets the carry in the backfield and works his way up near the 10-yard line. Charles Woodson making the tackle. A lot of teams like Reggie McKenzie want to build their franchises like the Packers and that they're successful. It seems like they're contending every year. More than 85% of the Packer roster is homegrown talent, drafted, signed, developed through practice squad. and what they've been able to do and the success they've had. Rodgers, after was signed by the Raiders, part of the Packers' success during that stretch, something the Raiders would like to do. Second and 5. Rodgers incomplete. And no flags. He wanted one. Cobb went down. It's third down.
A good coverage there by T.J. Carey on Randall Cobb on that crossing route. You're going to see these two guys right here run this over route. And there's some contact, some pulling, pushing, and shoving, but definitely not pass interference.
Only 3 catches today for Randall Cobb. He's run the ball once. Four wide receivers on 3rd and 5, and Rodgers on the move, and the catch made for a first down. Jared Abbrederis. And a clutch catch to get him out of the black hole.
Well, Abbrederis is working on a safety, Taylor Mays there. Aaron Rodgers doing what Aaron Rodgers does, said it early, getting out of the pocket, delivering on the run, best in the league of doing it.
Cobb in the backfield. Randall Cobb the football. And dragged down across the 27-yard line.
There was an instance last week where we saw this exact package from Green Bay. Randall Cobb lining up in the backfield as a running back. Sometimes they'll give him the ball. Most times they use him as a decoy out of the backfield. You know, Mike McCarthy told us you have to find ways to get him involved. You failed in your job if you don't get Randall Cobb involved. That's what they're doing here.
Rodgers moving around in the pocket. Sideline no. Trying to get to James Jones, incomplete. The official right on the spot, and it's 3rd and 7. I think Rodgers wants a challenge.
If he gets a challenge, I think he's going to win that. His knee is on the ground. He has possession of the football.
Here comes the challenge flag.
Knees down. That's a completion.
Mike McCarthy challenging what was ruled.
Challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
And Mike McCarthy is 4 out of 5 in challenges this year. And Mike Pereira, our Fox Rules analyst, watching all the games for us. So with some thoughts, Mike?
Hey, guys, guess Coach McCarthy's going to win a challenge here because if you look at the play, okay, ruled that it was incomplete, but he gets control. Knee is going to hit first. We all know 1 knee equals 2 feet. But he's going to the ground, gets the hand underneath it, maintains control. This will be a catch and reverse to a catch.
We talked a little bit earlier about how good hands James Jones has. How about that snag? Low and away. I don't know if he was, had the intent to put his knees down, but that's a great finish on a tough catch.
Had to lay out for the football.
And Aaron Rodgers is correct. Couldn't have known that, but yes.
Well, he's a pretty smart guy. He watches things closely, and he was following his receiver all the way. James Jones, I mentioned he's a San Jose State product. He grew up in San Jose, California, went to college, and was a Packer, and then released, was a Raider briefly, but seemed like for a free agent signee, they didn't keep him very long, and rejoined Green Bay and said he had no hard feelings. There's no revenge. He understands it's a business, and important to the Packers once they had the Jordy Nelson injury to come back into the scene for Green Bay.
Well, again, he leads this team in yards per reception, which is amazing because James Jones doesn't run like James Jones used to run, but he is very sure-handed. He makes some tough catches for Aaron Rodgers throughout his career. He's made a couple of them today.
They've had a look. Mike Pereira says it should be reversed and changed from incomplete to a catch. Let's see.
After reviewing the play, the receiver has control of the ball. His knee is down inbounds. It is a catch. It is first down at the 35-yard line. Green Bay is not charged with a timeout.
Raider fans don't like it, but Mike McCarthy, who's now 5 out of 6 with challenges. He and Rodgers do like him. Catch made, first down. Ball spotted up at the 35. So not only does he quarterback, he can officiate from the field as well, that guy.
Oh, God. Aaron Rodgers is unbelievable, isn't he?
He is California cool. When you
so
sit and talk to him in meetings, he can assess and break down personnel.
Oh, he's like unemotional talking. Yes, I knew it was a catch, yes.
But very emotional. Obviously, what you saw when he threw the touchdown pass to James Jones and has Cobb back in the backfield. You talked about those packages that are set up for him to get his hands on the football from Mike McCarthy.
Ready, go. Ready, go.
And he flips it to Cobb, who's flipped in the air. Charles Woodson. And he looks hurt.
And Charles has been dealing with a shoulder injury all year. This is a great play by the veteran. He's right here in the line of scrimmage. It's a screen. Looks like he's in man coverage on Cobb. Recognizes it, misses the block of Sitton.
And James Jones again falls forward for the first down. And that should take us to the end of the third quarter with Charles Woodson ailing. Rodgers has the Packers on the move, and they have the lead. We're glad you're watching the NFL on Fox from Oakland, California. We welcome you back in Oakland to start the fourth quarter. A little holiday cheer for Packer fans. Their team already in the playoffs. The Raiders hoping to get to 7-7 and stay alive in the wild card picture in the AFC.
5-1.
Charles Woodson is back out on the field, amazingly, after that shot to the shoulder, and Cobb in the backfield.
Ready, go. Ready, go.
Fresh set of downs for the Packers. Cobb gets the pitch and follows his blockers into Raider territory. By the way, James Jones in that third quarter for Green Bay, the third quarter alone, he had 4 catches for more than 60 yards and a touchdown.
Well, I got to tell you, Charles Woodson is toughing this out. I know he's been dealing with that shoulder. It is so hard to want to hit people when you know your shoulder's going to just be smart. And every time you put your body on somebody, he's playing down in the box now. He's usually a hole safety.
That's John Kuhn, and inside the 45, he had the early touchdown run following the first of Derek Carr's 2 interceptions.
And I think the change in this Raiders defense is specifically for this package. With Randall Cobb in the backfield, you need an extra defensive back down inside the box to account for him. That's why Charles Woodson is down there now.
You see the rain falling just a bit heavier. It's 3rd and 1.
Go. Ready, go.
It's Cobb for the first down. This drive started on the 5-yard line, and they've pushed their way all the way up to the 41.5 of the Raiders. And it's first down Packers. And without a huddle, they go to the line.
5-1. Ready, go.
Rodgers. Back shoulder catch, James Jones.
Well, this looks like the Packers offense that I'm used to seeing over the years. Aaron Rodgers playing out of the shotgun, finding all these back shoulder completions to James Jones, the only guy right now that he seems to be on the same page with.
5-3, 5-1.
6 catches today for Jones, leads the Packers.
Ready, go.
And has another one. Here comes a flag.
Well, James Jones is going to get an offensive pass interference here. I mean, I know he's a big boy, but he completely just shucked his corner. This is going to be a penalty on the Packers.
Pass interference, number 89, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Watch it right here. Working on the young corner out there, Dexter McDonald. Just get out of my way, kid. I'm working over here. But yes, it is a penalty, my friend.
McDonald from Kansas City, Missouri, the 7th-round draft choice out of Kansas, having to play. Nico Thorpe is out with a neck injury. Nate Allen out with a knee injury. A little thin in the secondary. They've been working him in more. So instead of a gain of a few, it's 1st and 20 now. Timeout. Green Bay will have 1 remaining.
I don't know that he got this in time. Aaron Rodgers looked up at that clock at the last second, but the flag was already out.
Prior to the delay of game, Green Bay calls their second charge timeout of the half.
Maybe they were trying to give him a break, since before the half he called timeout with 2 seconds on the clock, and they missed that. It's always special when you can be the head coach of your favorite team growing up. Jack Del Rio graduated from Hayward High School back in '81 as a basketball and football player, actually a 3-sport star, and actually played his high school state championship game in the Oakland Coliseum for the Fighting Farmers of Hayward, wore number 44.
I thought it was funny. He looked at you so incredulously when you asked who the mascot was. The Fighting Farmers, as if you didn't know.
It's not a lot of farm area there off the 880. Hayward, again, just about 10, 11 miles from here, but something Jack is proud of and hopes to be proud of his defense here after the timeout by Green Bay on 1st and 20. Devontae Adams tackled right away.
You almost got to wonder if, what's the lesser of the two evils here, losing a timeout or losing 5 yards. This game looks like it's going to come down to the wire, and that lack of a timeout, only 1 left for the Green Bay Packers, could play a part in the end of this football game.
And McCarthy will save that in case he needs a challenge. He's already won 1 challenge today, at least until the 2-minute mark.
Low, 5-1. Ready, go.
Catch made by Cobb, who slips a tackle, and Randall Cobb to the 15 with a 1st down.
Slipped the tackle of Charles Woodson right there, and Randall Cobb working in the slot against T.J. Carey. Makes a great catch, makes him miss, makes Charles Woodson miss, and picks up a huge 1st down for Green Bay.
And Rodgers over 200 yards passing today.
Ready, go.
And off inside Kuhn. Clock continuing to run here with 11.5 to go in the 4th.
Don't usually hear that Kuhn call on the road, but there's a ton of Green Bay Packers here, and whenever he touches the football, it's echoing out here in the stadium.
Cheeseheads travel well.
5-3.
And they'll be in Arizona next week, and they finish Wisconsin with the Vikings. Rodgers incomplete in the area of Adams.
Well, this Raiders defense needs to stop right here, Chris. If they're going to stay in this football game, they can't afford to give up a touchdown. They've been really good on 3rd down today. They played almost exclusively man-to-man defense, making Aaron Rodgers' receivers have to win on the outside. See if they're able to get off the field here, force a field goal opportunity.
In the area of the black hole where Mike McCarthy described it as a unique venue.
That's putting it mildly.
On 3rd down, Rodgers for the end zone, and Cobb. Here comes a flag or 2. DJ Hayden was all over him.
Well, I got to say, being an ex-defensive back, I am just not impressed with the way some of these corners are playing balls down the field.
Pass interference, number 25, defense. 1st down at the spot of the foul.
Here's the matchup right here, DJ Hayden inside, and just watch the panic at the end of this play. He's beat, he's actually in good position. All he has to do is turn around, find that football, might even make an interception, but he doesn't look back. Randall Cobb is interfered with, or isn't allowed to get position on that football, and again, an easy call for these officials to throw that pass interference penalty.
You see the penalty numbers and yardage, and what could have been a big stop. Looks like confusion on the defense. Woodson just got off the field on 1st and goal. Rodgers end zone incomplete, trying to slip it to Richard Rodgers.
You know, these Oakland Raiders, second in the league in penalties, and it's shown itself today. A lot of the offense for Green Bay has been on because of the inability of these guys to not panic down the field on the passes from Aaron Rodgers, and it's really hurting this football team.
How you want to do it? Deuce. Set it. Okay. 319.
Eddie Lacy not getting there, going backwards. Malcolm Smith.
Short yardage run game, non-existent for Green Bay today. Eddie Lacy tries to run this thing right through the middle, right through here, and just watch these guys in the middle just beat up this offensive line of Green Bay. Great tackle there by Malcolm Smith.
18th play of the drive. The Packers will be disappointed if they don't get this into the end zone.
Well, again, you get an opportunity for the Oakland Raiders. They're going to play man-to-man down here. See if they could not panic and make a play.
Third and goal for Aaron Rodgers. It's fourth down.
Well, he was looking for Randall Cobb, and just watch what happens right here. Playing man-to-man defense, looking for rub help, but his own player picks him. Incomplete pass. Not the way that play is supposed to happen, the way it's drawn up.
That Malcolm Smith play with the negative yardage, that hurt chances of them maybe going for it on fourth down if they were closer to the goal line. So Crosby is on for a field goal try.
Well, considering the adversity that the Raiders have put themselves in, great stop on third down there.
And now it's a 7-point Packer lead. Big difference because it could have been in double digits had the Raiders not kept the Packers out of the end zone. The difference a week makes and an opponent. We know a 7-point difference.
We know this Green Bay offensive line and the inability to run may be attributed to them. They came in beat up. So many of those guys up front were hurt. But you mentioned it right there after that last snap. That lost yardage play on second down really probably affected their ability to even go for that on fourth down. But a lot of credit to that Oakland defense.
And to the special teams of Green Bay, Ronde, who pinned Tywan Jones in at the 16-yard line. As they go at it, a little history over the years between the Packers and the Raiders. Super Bowl II, Packers taking the lead with Bart Starr hitting Boyd Dowler. 62 yards. Donnie Anderson in from the 2. In the fourth quarter, Herb Adderley intercepting Darryl LaMonica. Went in for a touchdown. The Packers won 33-14, their second straight championship in what was Vince Lombardi's final game as a Packer head coach. From the old AFL days to where we are now with the Raiders. Murray spins out of a tackle and gets up to the 20-yard line. I want to mention that Green Bay scoring drive run. They only got 3, but it was their longest drive of the season in terms of yards, 92, and number of plays, 19. But again, all they got was 3.
I think it's safe to say that they're going to be disappointed not having a touchdown there. They had exactly what they wanted. First and goal on the 1-yard line, 3 plays, 3 points.
And it's a 1-score game. The Raiders, if they can get it into the end zone with an extra point, they can tie this up with just over 9 minutes to play. Carr with the completion. See if that's good enough for the first down. Clive Walford made the catch, and it is a Raider first down. A Raider loss would eliminate them from the AFC playoff picture. Jets winning yesterday. They're in kind of a wild card chase. Pittsburgh trailing Denver by 7 at the moment. Packers are already in the playoffs. Derek Carr has spread the ball around. And on the ground, Murray with 71 yards rushing.
No. 5-2. Down. 5-2. You out there. We're waiting.
Here comes a flag.
Don't start. Number 15, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Michael Crabtree, who's been so valuable to this team.
I don't know what he's trying to do here. Watch, he's getting in the old school wide receiver stance, 3-point stance for a wide receiver.
And he got caught.
He got caught.
Of course, he got injured earlier in the game, has come back to fight through it, and has 3 catches today. First and 15, Murray. Latavius Murray gets outside, knocked down around the 28-yard line. He started out like a house of fire, came in second in the AFC in rushing and averaging over 4 yards a carry. But he has slowed down since. 21 carries in the game, just under 80 yards. His best run of the day was 22 yards. Interesting that they would be calling his number now, Ronde, when they trail by 7 here in the fourth quarter. That's him splitting out as a receiver on 2nd and 8. Carr incomplete for Crabtree.
Well, I think they got to feel that the clock is at this point is still in their favor, so you can afford to turn around and hand the ball off to your running back. That incompletion certainly hurts them here. They need to get a drive going, convert this 3rd down, see if they can continue this march. You get the ball back here to Aaron Rodgers, and I would be worried about the drive that they just gave up, that 8-minute drive. They've got the ability to stop them.
He doesn't look worried.
Hey, go 4-8 middle.
Carr in the pocket, it's collapsing, and now here comes a flag, and he's going to go down. Inside the 15, Julius Peppers, his 2nd sack of the day.
That penalty flag is going to be a holding that they're going to decline.
Holding, number 66, offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Left guard Gabe Jackson called for the infraction.
There's really nowhere for Derek Carr to throw this football. They played 2-man again, and so he can't release the ball. The pocket just continues to collapse, and Julius Peppers and Mike Daniels, all those Packers just rally to the sack.
Marquette King backed up at the goal line, and Micah Hyde, the wet football gathered in at midfield, and on the run down to the 41 of the Raiders, where Green Bay will take over. There is a flag.
Ineligible player of the kicking team, number 56, is downfield prior to the kick. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. 1st down, Green Bay. Timeout.
The call on Lorenzo Alexander, so the Packers' field position improves in some difficult weather here in Oakland. Fans in Oakland rocking out to the Packers and Raiders. A 7-point lead for Green Bay, and the ball at the 36 with just under 7 minutes to play.
Green 19! Green 19!
James Starks cuts back. It's inside the 35. And the clock will run. Raiders 2 timeouts, Green Bay 1. It's a final in Seattle. Seahawks crushed the Browns 30-13, making their playoff push. Earlier today, the Vikings won at home. The Redskins won at home. Panthers stayed undefeated, beating the Giants at the Meadowlands. We have not mentioned the name of Khalil Mack since the opening quarter when he had a sack. It starts, and James Starks is loose down inside the 10 of the Raiders.
And just like last week, Chris, late in the football game, the running game emerges. If you guys watch that game, this run's going to go here and pull all the way back, and then James Starks does the rest by himself. But late in the game last week against Dallas, they rattled off 2 long runs to put that game out of reach. And James Starks, who Aaron Rodgers told us Chris mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, has been somewhat of the glue that's held this offense together during their struggles. Makes a big run there.
At age 29, having a career year. That was a 25-yard run.
Green 18! Green 18!
Starts again, straight ahead. He gets inside the 5. And now just over 5 minutes remaining.
You mentioned Khalil Mack, whose name we haven't said at all today. And it's Bakhtiari.
The left tackle goes down in pain.
But I was just getting ready to mention how well this offensive line has played against those guys.
We'll check on the injury as Don Barclay's ready to come in. San Mateo, California, came in with a bit of a knee injury over to the sideline. Don Barclay steps in, and for the Raiders, TJ Carey being checked for a concussion. It's 2nd and goal for the Packers. Ken Norton's defense with Taylor Mays in the secondary, replacing Carey. Starks the back. He's carried the load on this drive.
Green 18! Green 18!
Rodgers knocked away at the last moment. David Amerson making the play. It's 3rd and goal. He's trying to get to Jeff Janis, and I mentioned Carey with the concussion protocol. They take your helmet away.
Yeah, that means you're done. Either he didn't pass or they don't want to give him the option to even go stand near the coach, try to get back into the football game.
5-3, 5-3, 21, 21.
4 wide 21. Receivers for Rodgers.
Ready, go. 5-3.
Pressure coming, pass thrown, touchdown Packers. It's James Jones.
Well, you're a Packers fan, you're not going to like this penalty. Pass interference on James Jones again against the rookie McDonald.
The flag was a little bit late.
Pass interference, number 89, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Well, I don't know that it necessarily was late because the back judge saw this all the way. Watch him push off at the top of his route. You see him reach for the flag there. He just had to signal the touchdown first. It's clear push off. James Jones using that size again. Another foul.
Takes 6 off the board. Would have been the knockout punch. Now back at the 15.
11.
We'll watch that matchup again up top. James Jones versus McDonald right here. Wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers dials him up.
And once again, the Raider defense, with a little help from a wet football, kept McCarthy's team out of the end zone.
Failings on 3rd down have been the theme for the Packers today. They've only converted 4 of their 3rd down attempts, lose another one here. And a good job, you said it, Chris, by this Raiders defense coming up with a stop when they needed it. Put it on Derek Carr. They need 2 drives. See what they can come up with once they get the ball back here.
Mason Crosby, 2 for 2. This from 33 yards away. And a big kick with the amount of time left for a 10-point Packer advantage. Del Rio trying to rally the Raiders. Green Bay is in the playoffs. The Seahawks, with their victory at home against Cleveland, they're in as well. So 4 of the 6 available spots in the NFC are filled up. It's just who has what. Carolina obviously has clinched the division in a 1st-round bye. The Cardinals, whom the Packers will play next Sunday in Arizona, Ronde with 11-2. They look like the 2 seed at the moment here.
Well, the outcome of this game will factor heavily on that outcome, and the game next week is going to be big for that number 2 spot, especially with Arizona playing Monday night against Philadelphia.
And the Vikings hope to stay in it because they'll finish the regular season.
I'm sorry, Sunday night, Arizona, Philly. Not Monday night, it's tonight.
But McCarthy has to gear his team up for next week with the Cardinals before finishing with the division rival, the Vikings, whom they beat earlier in the year. working the official over there on that, no doubt, that James Jones flag that you spotted right away, or at least the offensive pass interference.
Jeremy Ross, Taiwan Jones V.
Both Jeremy Ross and Taiwan Jones back for the Crosby kick. And Jones will just kneel and touch back. So out to the 20 with 4.5 to go. What if you died and then you were brought back to life? Well, this January, one man will get to find out. From the executive producer of X-Files and 24 comes the intriguing new drama, Second Chance. Series premiere Wednesday, January 13th on Fox. And the injured lineman, David Bakhtiari, taken away on a cart. That's the last thing the Packers need with an offensive line that came in with a number of players beat up, trying to play through pain. And now play through the rain for Derek Carr. Time not on the side of the Raiders. Murray with a catch and goes out of bounds.
But Derek Carr has been really good today, Chris. We've noticed in these situations, these hurry-up situations, calling plays at the line of scrimmage. See how he handles this. Down 10 points, needing a quick touchdown, and then getting the ball back and see what they can do.
Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator, who's tried to blend a little bit of everything into this Raider offense, from West Coast to Chip Kelly to the blood and guts running game, as Jack Del Rio called it. Now they need points. A lot of time for Carr. And incomplete. Off the hands of Andre Holmes. Casey Hayward, who's kind of the slot corner on the coverage, and now it's 3rd down and 8.
They're just playing a bunch of man underneath, 2 high safeties right now, and it's Derek Carr has struggled against that coverage today. Threw the interception against it earlier. Seen a bunch of incompletions when they've been in that formation on defense. They're probably going to run it here.
Carr with the pocket collapsing around him is going to go down. Mike Neal gets credit for the sack this time.
Well, I just mentioned the coverage that Green Bay is playing on the back end here. You got 2 deep safeties right here. All these guys are playing man-to-man underneath, and receivers cannot get open. Derek Carr has nowhere to throw this football. It gives time for that defensive line to get home on the sack.
So on 4th and 14, needing 2 scores. Give Peppers, by the way, a half a sack, so he's got 2.5 today. Can Carr keep the Raider hopes alive? A lot of room to run, but he's got to throw, and that's it. The Packers will take over. Quentin Rollins, one of those rookie corners who Ronde overall held up well today.
Yeah, he gave up some plays down the field against Amari Cooper. Oh, I'm sorry, Rollins did, but
Demarius Randall
gave up some plays down the field. Quentin Rollins has been holding his own over there on Michael Crabtree. But a lot of credit to this Packers defense here these last couple of stands. They knew that Derek Carr was struggling against that coverage. They stuck with it. They got the ball back for their offense here. See if they can run out the clock.
And so even if you're able to stop Green Bay and just trying to assess with timeouts, the 2-minute warning, you maybe hold them to a field goal, and then you can still have a 2-score opportunity. There's Musgrave talking to his young quarterback.
I'm surprised that they didn't try to run the ball. You know that they're running that defense down there. It opens up the middle of the field. If you're able just to spring a run with Latavius Murray, maybe would have made that situation a little bit easier on your quarterback.
Eddie Lacy the football and knocked down at the 15. See how quickly the Raiders use timeouts. Maybe that will depend on if they can stop them on 3rd down. Obviously the Packers will want to let this thing run out. Well, we mentioned how Aaron Rodgers told us, Ronde, yesterday late afternoon. They flew out on Friday. The Packers did. They were able to go over to Stanford and practice yesterday to get into that West Coast time zone groove. And, you know, Aaron said it's been a challenging year in terms of the passing and receiving game.
Green 18! Green 18!
And he's going to pass here if he can. toward the end zone, and it's intercepted. And his arms up in the air in frustration. David Amerson came away with it.
David Amerson took away what would have added to Charles Woodson's illustrious interception total. And Aaron Rodgers, I'm not sure why he let this ball go. Trying to make a play, give the ball back to the Raiders. Granted, I think this is going to be down on the 1 yard line.
It's interesting, that throw, because this game is not in the bag with a 10-point lead, 2.5 and 2 timeouts for Oakland. And you figure if you just run the ball there and run down the clock as much as you can.
It's hard to criticize what Aaron Rodgers has done, especially today. He's been really good, but I think that was a little ill-advised.
Yeah, well, he's, I think, discussed. I think he thought the receiver was going to do something he didn't. I saw his arms go up afterwards. And I think the officials,
That the one is under further review.
they're looking at where they can spot it. That's what the catch, the interception is good. It's just where they want to put the ball down. And that's what the officials are reviewing. The officials reviewing upstairs on the turnover.
Well, they're really ruling the spot where it is when he actually gets out of bounds. Now, you're going to see him hit the ground, but the play's not over because he's not touched down by a defender. So he's not over until he rolls to the ground after touching the pylon. And you're going to see it's really right there. And to me, it's very, very close, and I would leave the spot where it is, inside the 1 yard line. But it's a very close play.
First down at the 1 yard line.
And that's the way Walt Anderson, after reviewing it, leaves the ball at the 1. Long way to go following the Aaron Rodgers interception. And for Rodgers, he has a touchdown pass today. That was just his 6th interception of this year.
Yeah, that's a little confounding for me there. Why you throw a pass there? The clock is your friend if you just possess it. You throw it at the feet of your receiver, go run the ball, and the clock keeps ticking down to the 2 minute. Instead, you give it back to Oakland. Of course, they got to do something miraculous here, but there is a chance.
Carr in his own end zone, rolling and throwing incomplete for Crabtree. Let's check in with Kurt for a game break.
Well, Pittsburgh has scored 17 straight points to tie the game with Denver. Marcus Wheaton, 9-yard score from Ben Roethlisberger. And look at that, 27-0, 7.5 to go in regulation. Chris, Ronde, and Jen.
All right, thanks, Kurt. You see the Steelers' remaining schedule with Cincinnati winning in that NFC North. Pittsburgh trying to get in as a wild card. The AFC playoff picture with New England, Denver, Cincinnati in excellent position. The Jets won last night, eliminating the Cowboys over on the NFC side. Carr's pass is caught for a first down by Crabtree up near the 20.
Well, this is a fantastic throw here. Great catch by Michael Crabtree. But he fit this ball in a tight little window over the top of the defensive back there. Nice completion to get them off the goal line. Watch this throw. Feathered is in. Talk about him, the ability to layer the ball. That's exactly what it is. Over top of the defender with some touch.
After a gain of 18, he gets protection. And sideline open and through his hands. Amari Cooper couldn't hold it. The 21-year-old rookie has had quite an afternoon.
Amari Cooper has big, strong hands. This ball's floating on him, but the wet ball obviously playing a factor. Not able to make the catch.
Mentioned the 1,000-yard mark in the Raider history books.
Hey, go far too.
Second down, 10. Carr fakes and moves on the run, and that's out of bounds.
Yeah, this Oakland offense has no answer for two-man right now. These receivers cannot find a way off of their defenders. All the defenders know they have help over the top with both safeties. Derek Carr is forced to hold on to the ball and run for his life. One of these guys has got to win. Give your quarterback an option to throw the football here.
Tight ends of the Raiders, only 3 catches combined today. Seth Roberts was injured in the first half and out of the picture here in the second half. Juggled but caught, and good enough for the first down is Crabtree. And that'll take us to the 2-minute mark. 2 timeouts for the Raiders. They trail by 10 with 2 minutes to go here in Oakland in the fourth quarter. Rodgers staring at a 10-win season for Green Bay with a 10-point lead if they can hold on to these final 2 minutes. But Derek Carr with the slimmest of playoff hopes for Oakland, coming in with a 6-7 record. A 1st and 10 from the 30, 2 timeouts. And Carr is going deep. 3 Packers are there, and it's incomplete for Amari Cooper.
Well, you saw the strength of Derek Carr's arm there. I mean, he launched that thing about 60 yards on that little throwback play. And Amari Cooper, with 3 guys around him, almost makes an incredible catch, but instead sets up a 2nd and long here. Now they're playing this same defense, this 2 high safeties, soft man underneath. These receivers have to win on these outside breaking routes versus this coverage.
A low throw that's gathered in and out of bounds is Andre Holmes. It'll be 3rd and short. Carr over 260 yards passing. He's attempted 41 throws today. Overcame the 2 early interceptions in the opening quarter. One was a pick 6 by Demarius Randall and threw a couple of touchdowns. And actually the Raiders had a lead for a brief moment before Aaron Rodgers and James Jones changed all that. Need to get to the 41 for a first down on 3rd down. And that was almost intercepted. Morgan Burnett was over there.
These long developing plays down the field aren't helping your quarterback here. I mean, I know you need a quick score, but you need to also convert first downs.
And this Packers secondary, as Dom Capers, the defensive coordinator, talked to us yesterday with Sam Shields out, Ronde. He said we got Quentin Rollins, who was more of a basketball player from Miami of Ohio before he played a year of college football, and Demarius Randall, who was more of a JC baseball player and then went over to Arizona State. He said, I got an ex-baseball, ex-basketball player on the corners, and somehow they're winning the game. As Carr goes underneath to Reese, who just won't go down. It'll be 4th down. And that was, so it'll be the Packers taking over on downs. I guess he did not get enough to get back to the first down marker. And the AFC playoff picture to the moment, the Raiders with this defeat will be eliminated. Kansas City, what a run the Chiefs have been on.
Big win for the Texans today against Indianapolis in that AFC South race. Jets had a big win last night.
Patriots keep rolling, knocking off the Titans, Tennessee. And so the Steelers, who right now are tied with Denver in the 4th quarter, look to be in pretty good shape for the playoffs. Frustration for the Raiders.
I got to tell you, that was somewhat of an anticlimactic offensive series there for Oakland. I thought so on the previous drive as well. They needed to convert first downs. They weren't able to do it. And really, the Packers defense made it look easy to stop them there.
Well, a sloppy 4th quarter to go with the weather here.
This is the 3rd and final timeout. Green Bay, 30 seconds.
A minute and a half to go. The Raiders with 2 timeouts. Green Bay is out of timeouts. You see, we've talked about the game at Arizona that you'll see on Fox, and then the Packers at home, likely to be the way the Vikings are playing after their win today for the NFC North lead. And the Raiders a Christmas Eve game against San Diego here in Oakland before finishing at Kansas City. Yeah, the last offensive series by the Raiders just to get first downs, to get into position, because Ronde, even if you kick a quick field goal at that point, you can try for an onside kick and at least try to make something happen. The defense played hard today, and there's a couple of veterans. You saw them say hi at the beginning of the game, and Aaron Rodgers and his Packers the upper hand against Woodson and the Raiders. Starks to the 30. Timeout used here. Today's game, a Mike Burke's production. Michael Frank, our director. Technical producer, Tom Lynch. Technical director, Ernest Bauer. Our audio mixer, Kevin McCloskey. Lisa Hanson on graphics. Rob Levy, our video operator. Mark Sosna, Rick Odioso, and James Petralka helping us with stats. Also want to thank Bill Anderson and Chip Weaver helping us in the booth, and our camera crew. They put up all the Christmas and holiday decorations here, and they do need a new stadium, but boy, there's some great fans, great history with this Raider team, and for the first year of Jack Del Rio, this is the booth, part of our crew. Alicia also helping us out in the background.
Beautiful booth with the Reeves.
But
love it. The poinsettias.
Yeah, it was an entertaining game. And what a first year for Jack Del Rio and this Raider team. They're going to obviously fall short of a goal of making the playoffs, but
they're young. They're talented. I continue to say I think they have the right head coach here.
And the right quarterback of the future, who's the quarterback of now, as Starks carries again. Meanwhile, the Packers, remember we opened talking about Rodgers saying, I don't mind people not talking about us a lot. We thrive on that. He kind of likes the situation of this Green Bay team. I've covered them on different sides of things, Ronde, when they've been a favorite going into the postseason, when they've been an outsider and made their run to the Super Bowl and won it, or at least one not one of the favorites. And McCarthy back calling the plays. If Rodgers is comfortable, they'll find their way on offense.
Well, it's kind of strange to think of the Green Bay Packers as somewhat of an underdog, especially now that they're leading the NFC North, but it's true because they've struggled somewhat on offense. Teams aren't really giving them that national type of credit, but you have a great quarterback, you have some good runners, and like Aaron Rodgers said, they're becoming a dangerous team, and if nobody's going to pay attention to them, people need to watch out.
Well, and part of the reason is not just because of what the Packers have done or not done, it's also the great year the undefeated Panthers have had, and they, of course, defeated Green Bay as Starks carries again. There's a flag that comes in late, and also the idea that Arizona has been so good, and the Packers will play them next week. I know Mike McCarthy doesn't like to look ahead, but he thinks that's an important game for his team to gauge their position for the playoffs.
Holding number 83, offense. The penalty has declined. It's fourth down.
Here comes Mason Crosby to try and add to the Green Bay lead. So the Raider offense will get the ball back with over a minute to go, and still a 2-score difference. His fourth field goal try for this game, and Mason Crosby is not good. Blocked. Raiders with a chance to return. Running it back is Curtis Lofton, linebacker also on the special teams unit.
Well, that was unexpected. Right in the middle of this defense. I'm not sure who got their hand on this kick. See the great effort. It's right here is where the block point is. Look how high that.
Danico Autry.
I think it is Danico Autry. And it gives the Oakland Raiders some life here.
And the pressure from Hayden on the side may have affected a little bit of the angle or the kick. So from just inside their own 40, Derek Carr to Michael Rivera, who will gain about a yard. as the clock runs and no timeouts. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee for another game break.
Once down 20-7, Pittsburgh has come all the way back to take the lead against Denver. Antonio Brown, 15 catches, 181 yards. That touchdown put him up by 7, 34-27. Chris?
Thanks, Kurt. Of course, the Broncos last week losing to the Raiders and now losing the lead to Pittsburgh in that game.
False start, number 69, offense. 5-yard penalty. And by rule, with a false start with the clock running under a minute, there'll be a 10-second runoff. Please put the game clock to 33 seconds, and the clock will start on my signal.
That's now the 10th penalty accepted on the Raiders.
Down, 20. It's hot.
Carr showing some speed to get out of bounds with 23 seconds to play, and it will be third down.
Well, not much going right here at the end of this football game for the Oakland Raiders.
Either team, actually, a little sloppy all the way around.
Definitely sloppy into the football game. The weather's bad. Offenses have not exactly been sharp, especially this Raiders offense here. Given them, they had a couple opportunities to make this a game here late, and they just weren't able to get open. Derek Carr wasn't able to find his receivers like he was earlier in the football game.
On 3rd and 12, Carr's pass is caught at the 45 by Crabtree. Clock running, 4th down. Need to get up just to the 49 on the Oakland side of the field to get the first. There's a flag down, and the ball is dropped by Andre Holmes.
Andre Holmes, the intended receiver, penalty flag on the play.
If that's an offensive penalty, that will run out the end of the clock.
Illegal motion, number 89, offense. That penalty is declined. Ball goes over on downs, Green Bay, first down.
Well, both teams have gone onto the field here. Aaron Rodgers still needs to come out and kneel this.
He might have to do it by himself. Just everybody out of the way here. 3 seconds remain on the. I guess if they would have accepted the penalty, then you would have had your runoff, but 3 seconds remain. Actually, there would only be a runoff. It was a pre-snap penalty, and that obviously they did have a play and a choice on the drop pass. So Green Bay will get its 10th victory of the season, winning 4 out of their last 5 games. And moving forward in the playoffs, the leaders of the NFC North, the number 3 seed at the moment. Maybe a shot at the number 2 seed when they face the Cardinals next Sunday. Aaron Rodgers gets the best of Charles Woodson as the Packers defeat Oakland 30-20. We'll have more on the NFL on Fox in just a moment.